Okay, today we are going to do lesson 1 on the distributive property of multiplication over addition and also on order of operations. We're going to start with the distributive property of multiplication over addition. When you see it algebraically, it is going to say A times B plus C. We can also replace this plus sign with a minus sign. You take your factor A times the first letter inside the parentheses, so it's going to equal A times B plus A times C. You would substitute your values for A and C and solve the problem. If you have numbers, suppose it said 2 times 3 plus 1. The easiest way to do this problem would be to add 3 plus 1 first and say 2 times 4 equals 8. However, if they tell you to use the distributive property, you would have to say 2 times 3 plus 2 times 1 and do 6 plus 2 equals 8. Now you might say, why would I do it the long way instead of the short way? The reason is, once you get into algebra, they are not going to be giving you two numbers to replace with. So you might have 2 times x plus 4. And they want you to simplify that. There's no way to simplify x plus 4, so you would have to use the distributive property, and you would get 2 times x plus 2 times 4, or 2x plus 8. So that would be your sample of simplifying the distributive property. They will tell you to expand. When they tell you to expand, that is a clue to simplify it. So if you have 3 times x plus 2, it looks like the distributive property because it's multiplication over addition. So this would be 3x plus 3 times 2, and it would simplify to 3x plus 6. That's what they mean when they say expand. When they say factor, you are starting from the end and going back to the beginning. So if they said factor 3x plus 6, you look at each term and you say, what is common to both 3x and 6? And it is the number 3. 3 is a factor of 3, and 3 is a factor of 6. So you are going to factor out 3, which means you are going to basically divide each term by 3. 3x divided by 3 is x. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and your answer is 3 times x plus 2. You check your factoring answer by doing the distributive property. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 2 is 6. So you've done it correctly. As we move on and we have another factoring problem, suppose you were told to factor 2x plus 7. You can't factor that because there is no common factor for 2 and 7. So that would be impossible. Or you could just put the same answer, 2x plus 7, down. What if you had 6x plus 9 and they told you to factor that? Again, you would say, what is common to both 6 and 9? And 3 is. So you are going to factor out a 3, which means you are going to divide each term by 3. 6x divided by 3 is 2x. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Once again, check your answer by using the distributive property. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 3 is 9. And you've gotten the right answer. The second thing we need to remember is PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. P is parentheses, E is exponents, MD is multiplication and division. They get one line underneath them because they are of equal importance. You do them in order from left to right. And addition and subtraction are of equal importance, and you do those in order from left to right. You are going to have various problems to simplify. If you have 20 minus 2 times 3 squared plus 7 plus 8 divided by 5. And you need to do this problem and justify the problem. You look through here and say, what can I do my first go around that's going to help me simplify it? Well, you can do parentheses and exponents in here. My suggestion, underline what you can do. I can do that exponent, I can do that parenthesis. Rewrite the problem. 20 minus 2 times 9 plus 15 divided by 5. Your justification would be parentheses and exponents. What can you do now? I see a multiplication problem. I see a division problem. So I'm going to do each of those. 20 minus 18 plus 3. Justification, multiplication, and division. Now you see a subtraction problem and an addition problem. Do not do the addition problem first. When you have just addition and subtraction left, go in order from left to right. So you do 20 minus 18 is 2, and 2 plus 3 equals 5. And your justification there would be adding, or here it's subtract and then add. So make sure you're justifying your problems as you go along. If you have more than one brace, parenthesis, or bracket, you need to work from the inside out. So if you have 10 parentheses, brace, 8 minus bracket, 6 minus parenthesis, 5 minus 3, parenthesis, bracket, brace. You do parentheses, then brackets, then braces. So you would have 10 minus 8 minus 6 minus 2. And that's subtraction. You do subtraction again within the brace. This is really subtraction of parentheses, or in parentheses. 10 minus 8 minus 4. And this time you simplified brackets. And 10 minus 4, you simplified braces. And 6, you subtracted. If you have a fraction, like 12 times 12 over 3 plus 3, and you say, well, according to PEMDAS, I'm supposed to do multiplication and division before I do addition. This would not work in fractions. In fractions, you simplify the numerator, then you simplify the denominator, and then you do the actual problem, because what this really says is 12 times 12, that quantity divided by the quantity 3 plus 3. So if you wrote it out, it would look like that. So it's 144 divided by 6, which is 24. So that's what this lesson covers. If you go back to the first page, your problems that you need to do tonight are in the practice set. Do A through F, H, I, J, and L, and have those ready along with your notes for tomorrow, and you will get the problems to work on during class. Make sure you write down any questions you might have, and good luck.